Hi there, I'm Christina from Speak English with Christina, and welcome back for this fourth lesson in our free mini course that's all about how to master spoken English. Now, we've already looked at the idea of a top performer mindset. We've looked at what it takes to move from intermediate to advanced, getting off the intermediate plateau. And also in the last lesson, you learned how to put together a virtual immersion program. And now we're going to look at, what you need to stay with a program like that for the long term so that you reach that advanced level in English. So let's jump right in. Now, first, remember, if you want to activate the subtitles for this video, go ahead and click on that little CC icon at the bottom of the video, and you can have the subtitles to help you follow along. So, part 4 is sticking with it so that you see results. Now, when you're starting out with a program like a virtual immersion program or really any kind of program, it's a new adventure for you. You're really excited about it. There's that thrill of the results that you're going to have in the future, how much it's going to change your life, and you're super motivated, super excited about it. But how do you stick with it over the long term? Because, mastering spoken English, it's not something that you can do in, just a few days or a few weeks. It really is something that you've got to stick with over a longer term. 3 months, 6 months, longer, you can always learn something. It's a little like training for and running a marathon. Now, you might know that I like to do lots of different sports. I like going running. I haven't done a marathon yet, but it's definitely on my list of things to do, maybe next year. But really getting to that advanced level, it is just like training for and running something like a marathon. You go further if you've got others to support you, you keep that motivation, you keep that energy. And one big thing that can really help you to stay motivated and to continue training so that you reach your goals, it's accountability. Now, what is accountability? We'll get into the definition in just a minute, but it's something that is very important, especially in like coaching, business development, professional development. And it's even something that Forbes has called the secret to every entrepreneur's success. That's pretty powerful. It's accountability. Now, we could very easily just replace that word entrepreneur with language learners. And we could say that the secret to every language learner's success is accountability. So what is this exactly? Accountability is having someone who supports you in your transformation. It's having someone who makes sure that you do the work, that you don't make excuses, that you do the things necessary to reach your goals. It's having someone who counts on you to show up and do it. Like if you exercise with a partner, if you have someone that says, hey, let's go running at 5 o'clock on Saturday, you're more likely to not find an excuse and you're more likely to do it because someone is counting on you. And it's someone who won't let you find excuses. If you say, I'm kind of tired today, or I don't know, I don't really feel like it. Let's do it tomorrow. They'll say, no, let's go. We're going to do it today. Why not today? Today is the day that you're going to do something that's going to move you closer to your goal. And it's having someone who is going to push you to reach your goals. We always think that, we have enough motivation ourselves. But really, if you've got someone behind you who's pushing you, you're going to go a lot further and you're going to have more success. Because this person is going to help you to stay motivated and to stay focused so that you really concentrate on the things that you need to concentrate on in order to help you improve. We talked about the importance of working on the things that are right for you at the right time so that you progress faster, and having someone who's there, to hold you accountable is going to help with that. And they're there, so that you finally level up your English from intermediate to advanced. This is your overall objective. And, you need someone who's going to be there to help you on this long-term journey of really transforming your English. And they hold you accountable. Now, this is an expression, it's a typical expression in English to hold someone accountable, and it means to be the accountability partner, to make sure that you do the things that you say you're going to do and that you stay consistent with the work that's going to make you reach your goal. So, if you're working with me in a coaching program, for example, I am going to hold you accountable and make sure that you do it. So, why do you need someone to hold you accountable? Like I said, we all like to think that we have enough motivation, that we can find the time ourselves, that, we can do it ourselves. We don't need somebody there to push us. Well, in fact, you do. I mean, just personally, I work with, let me count. I've got a sports coach, and then I've got two business coaches, and also a mastermind group who, all of these people are here to hold me accountable to make sure that I reach my goals in different aspects of my lives. And, I like to think I'm pretty good at setting my goals and staying motivated, but I need people to help me. And for language learners, there are really three big challenges that I've identified, over 15 years of working with people. And the first one, this one, it's avoiding excuses and making time. So it's not about having the time, but it's really about making the time and making the choice to include English work in your day, like we talked about with your virtual immersion program. It's a challenge to make time. It really is. You might need someone to help you find the best solution. Another challenge, it's just feeling stuck and feeling frustrated. And in the end, you just kind of give up. You're like, I don't know, I'm not good at English. I don't have a good ear, or, I've never been good at languages. You feel that frustration and you feel that you're just at the point where you can't progress anymore. And you need someone to point out, that frustration is normal, but here's what you can do to eliminate that frustration and to get unstuck, as we say, to continue progressing. And the other challenge that is very common for English learners, it's just feeling overwhelmed by the options. There are so many resources out there, so many different options for you to learn English. It's just like, where do I start? Which ones do I choose? And we also talked about that in the previous lessons, is knowing which resources are the right ones for you at the right moment. So when you face all of these challenges and you're alone, it's very easy to just abandon your project, to find those excuses that we talked about earlier. I'm not good at languages. I don't have the time. This is too much work for me, whatever those are. And when you're alone, it's very easy to tell yourself that and then to just not do anything. But if you've got someone who's there to hold you accountable, it's much more difficult to abandon, which means it's much easier to reach your goals. So who can hold you accountable? Who is this magic person? Well, it could be a conversation partner. We talked about having partners in the Faster Fluency Conversation Club, but it could be any conversation partner that you have. Just for example, here's some participants from one of my other programs, Ava and Ednaldo. Ednaldo was absent from one of our sessions, and Ava sent him a message saying, yeah, I understand, but do you want to come and practice with me during the weekend or next week? Let's organize a Skype session together and let's practice talking about stereotypes, which was the topic of that module. So you've got someone who's there, just like you, there to learn English, who wants to support you and wants also to improve with you. It could be an individual teacher. So for example, Delilah is one of my students, and she's working with one of my teachers, Trisha. And so I just asked her, I was like, what are you doing with the techniques that we talked about in one of our previous lessons? And she comes back and she says, I worked with Trisha, the individual teacher, on how to use prepositions and articles to improve my writing and speaking skills. So she's got a teacher who's there that's really helping her with that very specific thing that she needed to work on, to review the rules, to practice more, and to get comfortable using them. And then it could be, a coach and your classmates. Again, this is a conversation on WhatsApp between Delilah and myself, and I'm just checking in with her to say, sorry that we didn't see you in our session on Monday. We missed you. Let me know how your progress is coming. What are you working on? Tell me about the things that you're doing, because I want to make sure that you're making progress. So you see, you can have, one of these people, or you can have all of these people behind you to really push you, to motivate you, to check on you, to help you and make sure that you are moving closer to your goal. And this is, something that you'll find in my Master Real American English program. It's a 3 to 6 month virtual immersion and coaching program. I'll tell you a little more about it at the end, but it does include all of these elements and much more, actually, so that you're really going to master spoken English. Now, what happens when you stick with this? Like, you've got your program in place and you've got someone who's there to push you and to help you, and you stay with it, short term and long term. Look at some typical results. So just after 3 days, like right at the beginning when you start, just 3 days, you're going to already start to see some differences. Like, you realize the big difference between spoken English and written English. And this is like your aha moment. It's the moment where you realize, like, oh, I understand why I don't understand. And now, I don't feel so bad about it because I realize what's happening. And now I'm also going to learn what I need to do to better understand. So you start using both natural learning to train your ear. So remember, we talked about that, things like podcasts, movies, and just really listening and picking up English. You're using natural learning and deliberate lessons, so work on a course, focused work with a teacher, with your coach, in your deliberate lessons, so you don't waste time and you work on the thing that you need to improve right at that moment. And then you also start to clearly recognize some common phrases that you're working on and that you hear, like, so what did you do? Which in fast spoken English sounds like, so what'd you do? So what'd you do? Not so easy to catch if you don't recognize it. Or, other common phrases like, I don't know, sounds like, I don't know. I don't know. But you're starting to learn and to recognize these phrases as just the first step to moving towards advanced English. You continue going, and after 3 weeks, let's say, now you're starting to feel more confident about listening and speaking. And you've also realized that, for example, you really need to improve to your ability to make small talk with your foreign colleagues. You've been working, and now you have identified one specific thing that you really need to work on right then. So you ask your teacher for some advice and some exercises to improve this specific point. And it's like they prescribe something for you that's going to solve that problem for you. You start to practice. Sometimes you're doing deliberate practice with your teacher. Sometimes you're doing more natural practice in conversations with maybe your classmates in the program or your conversation partners that you have. And you're just, starting to improve on this one thing that you realized you need to improve. You continue, you stay with it. You're being very consistent. And after 3 months, now it's like your virtual immersion. It's just part of your daily life. You're living the language. And you've even forgotten like how you felt before, when you felt blocked, when you felt, afraid. You don't feel that anymore. It's becoming easier. And you sound and you feel more confident in conversations. And you're less worried about your mistakes. You know that, you still make some mistakes, but you see that often native speakers, they don't really care that much as long as they can understand you. And a lot of times they can, because you've improved your pronunciation and also the expressions that you're using to sound more natural. So you're still learning, of course. You don't become bilingual in 3 months. You're still learning, but you've realized that your native speaker colleagues, they're starting to take you more seriously because you've started using those colloquial expressions that they use too. I mean, it's like you literally speak their language, and it's already led to better relationships, better projects in your career. Maybe you've gotten a big contract. Maybe you're starting to feel more comfortable with one of your project managers. Maybe you feel like you can go into a meeting and you can express your idea. You're not afraid to speak and to intervene, and that's helped you to participate more and maybe to get, better credibility. And then we're going longer term now. So after, for example, 6 months. Now, you know that you're still not absolutely bilingual, and that's okay because you don't stop, every 10 words to think of what you say next. The things, the expressions, and the ideas are coming to you much more naturally and much more quickly directly in English. Now, maybe you never thought this day would arrive, but you think in English, and people even compliment you on your good level of English because, again, you literally speak their language and it's leading to those better relationships in your career. So, as a result of all of this, just staying with it for longer term and having someone or several people there behind you to push you, you're starting to build deeper relationships, both business relationships and personal relationships. You're seeing that you have better career prospects, maybe in the immediate future, but maybe in, further down the line. And this could lead to a better financial situation for you. And you just have that personal satisfaction. Before maybe you felt like, I'm just not good at English, or, I never learned the right way. But now you're seeing you did it. You can do it. And there's nothing that's going to stop you in the future. So, in the next lesson, we're going to look at some of these things in much more detail. We're going to look at exactly how each of those approaches, working with an individual teacher, having a coach, working with your classmates, working with a structured course, how all of this is going to move you closer to advanced English. You're going to see how a virtual immersion program like this, that is really a structured program that I just deliver to you, how it's going to accelerate your results, and especially compared to traditional business English classes. This is traditional classes. It's something that I used to do at the beginning of my career. So I've seen what doesn't work with these things, and we're going to look at the differences between these two approaches. And you'll also see exactly how my teachers, your classmates, and me, we will all hold you accountable on your journey to advanced English. Now, if you're interested in this program, Master Real American English, you can go ahead and you can pre-apply for the program. We're going to be doing some enrollments at the end of the month. We're going to accept a very small number of people because this is a live program. So we can only accept a few students into it. But if you want to go ahead and, pre-apply to let me know that you're interested and let me know that you want more information, you can go to the address that is on your screen. There's an application form. It's not a payment form. It's just to let me know that you're interested and to let me know a little bit about you, so we can, perhaps contact you and discuss it more in detail. We're not enrolling people yet. This is just pre-applications, but the earlier you apply, the more chance you have to actually get into the program, like I said, because we're going to have a very small number of spaces. Okay, that's it for this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson where we're going to go into more details about how we're going to really help you get to an advanced level of English. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.